Good evening. President Donald Trump has made a stunning threat that could reshape the relationship between the federal government and the nation's capital. In remarks that have sent shockwaves through Washington political circles, Trump suggested his administration could seize direct control of Washington, D.C. if what he called a crazy socialist wins the upcoming mayoral election. The president made these explosive comments when asked what he would do if a socialist candidate were to win the race for mayor of Washington, D.C. His response was unequivocal. The federal government could simply take over control of the capital city. Trump also declared that his administration would not tolerate losing businesses from the district. While Trump did not name the candidate specifically, his comments appear to be directed at City Councilwoman Janeese Lewis George, who openly identifies as a Democratic Socialist. Lewis George represents Ward 4 and has built her campaign around affordability, housing, and public safety issues. Recent polling shows her leading former City Council member Kenyon McDuffie by double digits heading into the Democratic primary scheduled for June 16th. This is not the first time Trump has pushed for expanded federal control over Washington, D.C. In August, he ordered the federal takeover of the city's police department and deployed National Guard troops to the capital. The president justified these actions by citing crime statistics, though available data reportedly contradicted his claims about the city's safety situation. Meanwhile, other Trump-related controversies continue to unfold across the capital. A federal court has given the green light for a mixed martial arts event planned directly in front of the White House to celebrate Trump's 80th birthday this Sunday. The court rejected challenges from opponents, ruling that objections were filed too late and failed to demonstrate lasting harm from the event. The spectacle will feature fights in an octagon-style cage erected on the White House grounds, complete with spectator seating and covered by a massive dome structure. Officials have tied the event to celebrations marking America's 250th independence anniversary, though that milestone actually falls on July 4th. In another legal development, a federal judge has denied the Kennedy Center's request to delay the removal of Trump's name from the prestigious cultural institution. Judge Christopher Cooper ruled just hours before a court deadline, stating that the center failed to adequately justify why a postponement was necessary. Scaffolding has already been erected outside the Washington building to begin removing the Trump signage. Trump became chairman of the Kennedy Center earlier this year following changes to the Board of Trustees. The board subsequently voted to rename the institution and incorporate Trump's name into the official title. The decision sparked fierce opposition from Kennedy family members and cultural community representatives. Judge Cooper noted in an earlier ruling that Congress created the center as a memorial to President John F. Kennedy, who was assassinated in 1963, meaning only Congress has the authority to change the facility's name. Elsewhere, a federal judge has indefinitely blocked Trump's proposed $1.8 billion compensation fund. Judge Leonie Brinkhammer rejected government arguments that the project had already been abandoned, stating during a Virginia hearing that there was insufficient certainty the fund would not resurface. She demanded the administration provide clear, unambiguous documentation within 1 week confirming the project's permanent termination. The fund was designed to compensate individuals who claimed they were wrongfully investigated by federal agencies. Critics argued the money would primarily benefit Trump allies rather than legitimate victims of government overreach. Finally, Republican lawmakers are advancing Trump's proposal to rename the Department of Defense back to its original title, the Department of War. The change has been included in both House and Senate versions of the annual Defense Authorization Bill, though both chambers must approve the measure before it takes effect. Supporters argue the name change would send a clear message to American adversaries like China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran. However, critics dismiss it as expensive symbolism with cost estimates ranging from $10 to $125 million depending on implementation scope. These developments highlight Trump's continued push to reshape federal institutions and expand presidential authority over the nation's capital. If this story matters to you, hit subscribe and the bell so you never miss the German perspective. Now tell me, what's your take? Drop it in the comments.